I was getting ready to film a video about random orbit sanders, and I fell into a rabbit hole about cordless tool batteries. And what I found made me look at this pile of misfit batteries in my own shop and cringe. If you're just getting into woodworking and you're about to buy your first cordless tool, or your second, please stop and watch this video first. It'll save you money, frustration, and a shelf full of cordless batteries that don't work with each other. Before I get started, please remember, I don't do tool sponsorships. I don't do affiliate links. The information I'm sharing today, well, it's based entirely on my own experience with my own tools. Every tool you see in my shop, I purchased with my own money. As you'll see throughout this video, you'll notice that I bought into the Milwaukee tool ecosystem. Stay with me till the end of this video, and I'll tell you why I regret that choice, and the one tool brand I really wish I had chosen. So what is a cordless battery? Cordless tools and cordless batteries have been around since the 60s, but they didn't become truly shop-worthy until lithium-ion batteries arrived in the early 2000s. Before that, nickel-cadmium or NiCad batteries were heavy, slow to charge, and lost their capacity over time. Lithium-ion changed all of that. They're lighter, faster charging, and last longer. Today, the battery sitting on your tool isn't just a power source, it's a platform decision. Every battery you buy ties you into a system. And understanding that system before you spend $1 on this kind of stuff is what this video is all about. So what's a battery do? Well, there's two numbers on a battery pack and most beginners ignore all of them. First, voltage, 18V, M18, 20V, 20V max, tells you the power potential of the tool. Higher voltage generally means more power for demanding applications like saws and sanders. Amp hours, 2 amp hours, 4, 6 amp hours, that tells you the runtime. Think of voltage as how hard the battery works, and amperage as how long it can keep working. A Milwaukee M18 5 amp hour battery and a DeWalt 20V Max 5 amp are essentially the same thing. The 20V Max label, by the way, is a peak number, not a working number. Understanding that one fact about batteries alone will save you from a lot of confusing marketing. And here's where this gets expensive in a sneaky way. Let's say you're walking through Home Depot or Lowe's and you see a cordless drill on sale. Big orange tag, big blue tag, 40% off. That's exciting, right? But what you might not notice is that it's on sale and on the end cap because the brand is being phased out, or because it's a lower voltage platform and the store is clearing that out, or because the battery platform is barely used on any other tools in their lineup. I've made these mistakes more than once, and the evidence is right in front of me with the various colors in my shop. The tool was a great deal. The ecosystem it locked me into, not so much. So before you get excited about the price, understand the platform that you're buying into, because the battery is likely going to outlast the tool. For most beginners, the decision comes down to this. Pick one platform, one ecosystem, and stay in it. Your future self will thank you. DeWalt and Milwaukee own the pro end, they're good tools. Makita's strong in that space too. Ryobi's the budget-friendly version, and honestly, for a hobby woodworker who isn't running tools 8 hours a day, it's a completely legitimate choice. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. Start with an 18 or 20 volt platform. That's the sweet spot for woodworking. Most of the tools you'll ever need live in that voltage range. For amp hours, aim for 4 amp hours. That's a great battery to starting point. Enough runtime for most shop sessions without the extra bulk of the heavy 6 amp hours. And look for starter kits that bundle the tool with the batteries and a charger, maybe a bag. That's usually the best value and entry point into any of these ecosystems. One thing that trips people up, 4 amp hour does not mean your tool runs for 4 hours. Amp hours measure capacity, not duration. Think of it like the gas tank in your car. A bigger tank doesn't tell you how long the trip will take. That depends on how hard the engine's working and your driving habits. A random orbit sander might sip from that 4 amp hour battery for a long time. A circular saw chewing through thick hardwood, it'll drain much quicker. The harder the tool works, the faster the battery goes. So amp hours gives you a useful comparison between batteries, but in reality, your real-world runtime will depend on what you're doing with the tool. So how do you use it once you're in that ecosystem? Here's how you get the most out of your batteries. Lithium-ion cells don't like being fully drained. Unlike old NiCad batteries, you don't need to run them to 0 before recharging. Top them off whenever you can. And for storage, aim for around half a charge. Storing a battery full or dead for months on end will shorten its life for sure. Keep them out of your car during the hot summer and out of your unheated garage if it's cold during winter. Know the signs of a battery that's done. It swells, it won't hold a charge through a full work session, or it cuts out suddenly under a load. At that point, it's time to replace, not recharge. One maintenance habit I've picked up that most people don't seem to think about is every few months I like to clean the contacts in my batteries with a little rubbing alcohol and a cotton swab. Dust, oxidation, and a whole bunch of other kind of dirt and grime get in there, and that dirt and grime prevents the electricity from flowing from the battery to the tool, and it can result in inconsistent power delivery and premature wear. Only takes about 30 seconds, kind of a small habit, adds to a battery's life probably years. While I'm at it, I'll also usually inspect all the ventilation openings on my tool. It's a good idea to make sure they can still breathe. Also keeps them cool. So what about safety? Batteries don't have spinning blades or exposed heat elements, but they're not without risk. The most serious is thermal runaway. When a lithium-ion cell gets damaged, it can enter a state called self-sustaining chemical reaction. This can generate intense heat and in some cases catch fire. I know it sounds dramatic, but it is real, and it's why you should treat your batteries with care. Never leave your batteries charging unattended, and don't store them in your charger all the time. That's just not good. Don't charge them in enclosed spaces where there's no airflow. If a battery gets hot to the touch while you're using it, and I don't just mean warm, but hot, let it cool off before you continue using it. I'll be honest with you, I'm guilty of holding on to dead batteries, this is a dead one, far longer than I should. They're expensive, and it's genuinely hard to throw away something you paid good money for. But a swollen or failing battery in your shop is a real hazard, and at some point, you gotta let it go. As for recycling, I'll confess, the harder it is to do the right thing, the less likely I am to do it. So here's the practical version. Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's, and probably lots of other places have battery recycling drop boxes right near the entrance or at the customer service desk. And they're designed to accept things just like this. But don't store damaged batteries in your vehicle or in your garage while you're waiting to make that big box store run. Sit it outside, away from anything that could catch fire, until you're ready to go to the store. No enclosed spaces, no heat sources nearby. A damaged lithium-ion battery deserves all of your respect right up to the point where you drop it into that recycling bin. So what's the takeaway here? This is what I want you to walk away with. Before you buy your first cordless tool, or your next one, spend 10 minutes understanding the ecosystem that you're buying into. Pick one platform, commit to it, and let that decision guide future cordless purchasing decisions. Once you're in that ecosystem, treat your batteries well, charge them responsibly, store them right, clean those contacts, and know when it's time to let a battery go. A good battery platform, well maintained, will serve your shop for years and will likely outlast the tool itself. More on that in a minute. Now let me quickly tell you why I regret buying into the Milwaukee tool ecosystem and the tool brand I really wish I'd bought instead. I regret the Milwaukee choice because I've learned that Milwaukee Tools and dozens of other tool brands are all owned by a single parent holding company. This company also owns DeWalt, Craftsman, Stanley, Black & Decker, Irwin, Porter Cable, Bostitch, Mac Tools, and probably dozens of others. And because all these tools benefit the same set of shareholders, they employ some pretty horrible tactics to keep us buying these brands and buying from the stores that they direct us to through some pretty crappy marketing and licensing tactics. Unfortunately, I've learned that who owns the brand, who makes the tool, and where the tool is sold are never the same company. These massive companies have lost their way and actively work to implement planned obsolescence into their tools as well as battery lock-in, while at the same time changing their battery form factors every few years so we all have to keep buying new batteries. So if I could do it all over again, what tool ecosystem would I buy into? This one. Makita is a rare tool manufacturer in today's greed-driven world of corporate takeovers, mergers, and acquisitions. It would take an entirely new video to deep dive this topic, so let me just say this. If you had a Makita tool that you bought in 2005 and you bought a new Makita LXT battery in 2026, it would fit and work. That's 21 years of backwards compatibility between their tools and their batteries. Their tool-to-battery compatibility is tightly controlled, and it's visible on every tool and battery that Makita makes. Makita has maintained solid backwards compatibility with their cordless tools since 2005. That's crazy. And finally, Makita tools are specifically engineered to be repaired rather than replaced. I like that. I'm so tired of throwing stuff out that I know could be repaired. So that's it. Till next time, friends. Peace, love, and sawdust. Now go make something.